Hi guys, my name is Gabe Moen, NPC competitor and co-owner of Flex Wheeler Fitness in Tacoma, Washington. I actually got involved in bodybuilding back in 2000, 2001 in Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, and my first two shows were the NANBF Heartland Muscle Classic. I actually played football in Nebraska at the University of Nebraska at Omaha for about a year and a semester, and I ended up separating my shoulder third day at two-a-days and decided that that actually wasn't the sport for me. I kind of always knew it wasn't. Actually what it took was one of my fellow teammates caught me posing in the mirror in the locker room and just said, you know, this isn't your passion, bodybuilding is. I think you should bodybuild. My prep this time has been a lot different. I've worked with several people coming up in this sport, from local help to abroad, and it wasn't until I touched base with my former coach Dave Palumbo and also Jay Cutler. They both were able to help me. Jay Cutler actually helped me get the attention of Chris Aceto back in 2010. I just didn't have the funds at the time. And then it wasn't until this year in 2011, 2012 that Dave Palumbo was a huge help to me. He actually helped me get the assistance of Chris Aceto, and I had the money this time around, financially stable. I'm not a starving bodybuilder anymore. You know, I own the gym with Stan here. It's made it possible, and you know, working with Chris Aceto has actually been, what a blessing. The man is, he's brilliant in my mind. If you take the last 10 years of my competitive career of slamming my head against the wall trying to figure out what works for me, and this guy takes the reins one time and literally makes it happen what seems to be overnight and effortlessly. It's actually been the easiest diet I've ever been through, simply because he's watching and listening to my body constantly, and that's just something that I've never experienced before with any other coach. My diet for this prep has been a complete change. I kind of basically went back to the basics. Actually, I want to take a step back to 2000, 2001 when I actually did my first two shows. I actually pulled articles out of Flex magazine that were written by Chris Aceto, followed his basic principles, and just those alone helped me achieve the best condition I had achieved probably to that date. And then moving forward, I went with the keto with Dave, and we figured out that it was kind of difficult for me, as tall as I was, to be able to stay full, or at least to reload towards the end there. Dave worked with me on getting Chris Aceto, and now carbohydrates are a mainstay in my diet, and I figured out that I have a lot more energy in training. I want to train. I have what I started out with. You know, when I started out with training, it was just I could train for 2 hours straight, even though we know that's not, what you're supposed to do. I mean, I could just train all day, and that's what I got back to, was enjoying bodybuilding, enjoying training once again. And it wasn't until, the typical 4-week out marker where you start to trail off and it gets difficult no matter what. If it doesn't, you're not doing it right.
That's right! 2 weeks, baby! 2 weeks! Yeah! That's right!
recently, I actually earned my first overall title at the 2012 Oregon State. Like I said, I've been competing in the NPC for 10 years now, and I've won several class wins in the super heavyweight division, the Tacoma Golds, the Washington State, the Emerald Cup. I've won all my super heavyweight divisions in pretty much every show in the Northwest. And then it wasn't until Chris Aceto took over the reins and helped me grab my first overall, which was a very emotional night for me, and had a lot of support for it. And I'm really, really grateful for that win. For me, it's been so many times I've heard people, after I get off stage after prejudging, telling me, oh, you got this, and I get up there just to be let down. So it really didn't matter what anybody said to me anymore. I stopped listening to everybody. I did ask opinions of people that I respect and that I know would not give me sunshine, that would tell me the truth. I'm standing up in that lineup and your low back's cramping because you're posing hard, you want it so bad, and it was almost surreal. I mean, when they called my number and my name, I don't know what happened. It was, I think, 10 years of relief and exhaustion set in, and emotion. A lot of people go for, like 6 to 8 or 8 to 12, but I'm more like Jay Cutler in the sense, where it's instinctive. I don't really set numbers on certain things. Certain days you feel great, and if 12 doesn't feel good enough, I'm going 15. If 15 doesn't feel good enough, I'm going 20. I don't really care what it takes as long as I'm being instinctive and listening to my body, and I mean, I've been known to do, squats in the 20s. I mean, I remember probably my best day was, trying to get, I got 405 in the squat for 20 reps, no knee wraps, no nothing, just really getting after it. And I feel like higher repetitions for legs work for me. Pretty much every body part, I won't go anything less than probably 12 reps. So that's what works for me.